Bonjour everyone and welcome to my channel. I'm the Balkan guy and today I'm going to take you on a weekend journey from Luxembourg to Paris. So without any further ado, let's get into it. Our idea was to wake up really early in the morning around 6:30 a.m. so that we can catch the first train to Paris from the city of Metz. A few weeks earlier, my girlfriend checked the prices online and they were about 25 euros per person, for a direction of course, and I believed her. The day before going to Metz, I checked the prices online for myself and surprise surprise, they were different. They were about 170 euros per person for a direction. So I told her let's just go tomorrow morning to Metz, directly to the train station and see if the prices will be 25 euros as she said. As you can see, by the time we dressed up and went out, it was still dark. We arrived in Metz train station 45 minutes later, and when we checked the prices of the tickets, they were even more expensive, so 250 euros, and all trains were fully booked with only a few spots left. At that point we decided, since we have the car with us, let's just take it for a drive to Paris. The trip would take us about 3 hours. So on our way on the highway, we also saw a few rainbows here and there because of a slight rain, and since there are no actual borders, all we had to do is pay for toll taxes. So yeah, just in the middle of the road you receive a message from your courier that hey, you're now in France. So you might not know, but parking in Paris is pretty similar to any other big European city, hence very difficult. However, on our way to a hotel parking outside the city center, for which we were going to pay 10 euros per day, we came across an open space parking for some sports hall and we left the car there for free. To be honest, I was a little bit worried because the car thefts in Paris are very common. But anyway, we left the car there and went to check in our hotel. Once we got there, the receptionist told us that the check-in will be available after 3 p.m, so we searched for an Italian place to have lunch. We found this amazing restaurant where the owner was actually Italian himself. We had a very delicious pizza margherita and even got a free limoncello shots. So I will leave the address of the place down in the description below. Since this was our third time in Paris, we've already visited the most famous attractions, but we really like Paris, so it's always a good idea to revisit. And besides that, two of our friends were also in Paris at that time, so we set up a meeting with them just to chill in the park and see each other. And remember how I said this was our third time in Paris? Well, for a third time I didn't get the chance to climb on top of the Eiffel Tower. There's always a huge waiting line, as you can see, so we didn't want to wait again. Instead, we went to our favorite park near the Louvre. Going there using the metros in Paris, I filmed some shots from inside, as this is one of the oldest subways created in Europe. It started building back in the 19th, and it's 226 kilometers long with 16 different lines. The price of the ticket is €1.80, and inside the metro station there are usually machines where you can purchase your own ticket, pay by cash or card. But bear in mind that if you're planning to visit places like Versailles Palace, you'll need to get a metro ticket for a destination outside of Paris, which is about €6 per person. And the reason I'm saying this is because on your way out of the metro you need to scan the ticket you bought on another machine, and if you end up in Versailles with a ticket for Paris city center, you won't be able to go out. Don't ask how we know. So since the weather was very nice that day, there were a lot of people eager to visit the glass pyramid, which I really loved. If you're one of those people, make sure to free at least one whole day to explore the whole museum because it's huge. Also, another tip for the Louvre is, as you can see, there is always a huge queue in front of the main entrance. However, there's another hidden entrance just on the right side of the famous Café Marley. You can enter there without waiting online. The entrance for the museum is completely free of charge if you're under 26 years old, and if you're older than that you need to pay for your ticket, which is 15 euros per person. But it's totally worth it, of course. Here inside the Louvre we have the famous upside down glass pyramid. As I said, I've already been inside of the museum, but I will show you some pictures so that you can get a trailer for what you can expect. And I will say this now, Mona Lisa is the least interesting painting inside. Like many people, you will see for yourself what I'm talking about once you visit the whole museum. Here in front of the Louvre Gardens we have the Place de la Concorde, which is famous for its Luxor obelisk. Raised in Paris in October 1833, the Egyptian obelisk was one of two sets up at the Luxor temple by Ramses II. Going back to the city center, we ate some French macarons. We were very lucky enough to see the Eiffel Tower's blinding lights shine at exactly 7 p.m. This event happens every hour after dark for 5 minutes, and literally people stop their taxi rides just to take a selfie in front of the Eiffel Tower. So going towards the end of our Saturday, we had a dinner at La Campanella and went home as we were completely exhausted. On Sunday we literally had a breakfast and sat on a bench in the park just enjoying the nice weather. Later we had a lunch and around at 5 p.m. we went back to the car and drove back to Luxembourg. It was a short weekend trip, but like I said, Paris is always worth it. There's plenty of places to visit and lots of things to do. And I didn't even mention the boat trip on River Sena and of course Disneyland. But we did that the last time that we were in Paris. One advice that I can give you for Disneyland is book your tickets in advance, make sure that the weather will be nice, because they are non-refundable. So this was our mini weekend adventure. I hope it was interesting for you guys. As usual, please like, comment and subscribe to my channel so that you can support my future work. Thank you once again and I'll see you in the next one.